Welcome back, nerds and turds, and welcome Ash, Mike, and Alex to another live stream repair. We're gonna kick things off with hopefully a couple of just software issues on these HomePods. I'm also expecting someone to actually, there they are. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that, folks. We are back. Was a local fellow picking up their HomePod for a classic no power repair. It was one of the ones that we had on here yesterday. Alright, these are going to be interesting because what they described doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but then again a lot of software issues and then again even hardware issues sometimes don't even make any sense. So two Gen 1s, one cannot be recognized by the Home app, one cannot be manually reset by holding down the top panel. For the first one, I see a white light come up for 1 second, and then it disappears, and nothing happens. For the other one, nothing happens as I keep pressing down on the panel. Alright, so I imagine this one might be the one that disappears. Oh, well, there we go. It's resetting. I'll go ahead and grab the other one. While that's figuring out how to break itself. Actually, I am going to want the power cable plugged in for at least one of these. Let's see what this one does. Oh, okay, this is the one that turns off. Does it stay off? Because if it stays off, then that might be... I've seen this a couple of times on the amplifier. But this one's going to likely be a hardware issue for sure. This one, however, that one looks like it's resetting. Oh, I hear someone else approaching my door. I guess not. I guess they changed their mind. Okay. This one's probably still resetting. This one is still off. Yeah, that set up without a problem. Very interesting. It's gonna set up fine too. No way. I didn't do nothing. This guy is probably going to need to be taken apart, and most likely we won't be able to find out what's wrong exactly with that amplifier. We might be able to, but if not, I've got a couple of other amplifiers sitting around that we can use as a replacement, no problem. I've got a couple of amps like this one as well that I need to spend some time and figure out one day. We're just letting this HomePod set up here. So I guess I'll set this one to the side for now. Don't do this. Don't wrap your power cable around your HomePod if you're shipping it. I'm only doing this because it's not going to be sitting in the box with it pushing up against it. Okay. Let's see if this sets up. If it sets up and it plays for me, then I guess we'll leave it plugged in for the night and see if we come back tomorrow and it's still working just fine. And then we'll present Ash with a few options. We can, for this one, we can leave it alone, assuming it works just fine, and we won't charge them anything for factory resetting it. Or they can pay the $70 for our routine maintenance. We'll take it all the way apart, and if it's got the faulty diode that tends to fail and cause no power, we'll replace that. And We will also replace the DC filters, the ceramic capacitors, to keep the death farts away for as long as possible. Those almost always go bad, so we get those replaced every time, and then that diode only gets replaced if it's got a date code that tells us it's bad. As for the one that turns on and then shuts off and stays off, that one definitely needs a hardware repair. It's going to probably run that $70 to $90 depending on whether or not we can repair the amp or if we've got to swap it out. And then of course the amp that we put in there, or if we can repair their amplifier, it'll get a new diode if it needs it, and it'll get new filters either way as well. That's just the standard for any HomePod repairs. It's going. I guess we'll get the next one opened up and ready to go while we wait. There we go. Very nice. I guess let's put some tunes on. Let's listen to some music while we work. I don't normally put any music on during the stream. It's about 50-50. People complain about the music and people enjoy the music. So you know what? It's my stream, not yours. So go make your own YouTube channel and stream electronics repairs in silence if that is your thing. Let's see if it connects. Yes, it does. Very cool. It's connected. I'm going to add my other guy in here. And we're going to try a trick here. So there's this video on YouTube and TikTok and whatever of this guy that demonstrates changing an accessory belt on a running Volkswagen Bug. And he did that with the belt spinning by just slipping the driver in there and flipping the belt off, and then basically doing the same thing to get the other belt on there while the engine was running. We're going to try to do the same thing here. I'm going to turn the volume down to give us the best chance possible. But you'll know if we did it if those volume buttons stay lit. You ready? Ah, dang it. Just not fast enough. Well, I'm going to get this set to the side. And we'll reconnect that. AirPlay is fun sometimes. If you try to reconnect to things too quickly or too much, it just, it just completely doesn't for you. Oh yeah, and apologies for any other background noise. Of course, we've got the 3D printer chugging along at those adapters. Oh, that sounds like my HomePod. Yeah, that's my HomePod. Alright. We're gonna leave those running, and we're gonna take a look now at Mike's HomePod here. Airplane on and off will force it to reconnect faster. That's interesting. I'll have to try that. Alright, Mike Brown. Let's see. My kid unplugged it while playing music. When plugged back in, Siri announced she couldn't connect to Wi-Fi. I did a user-initiated firmware reset. The system goes through the normal pinwheel process, then boots into the white pinwheel forever. So, not too sure again with this one what could be going on, but we are going to take a look. Alright, Mike has been emailed. Let's open up their box. Looks like they separated the power cable. Very nice. Looks like it survived its travels very well. Got an email from someone saying they'll need some direction on getting the code transferred from their laptop to the HomePod. This is talking about this is talking about, where did that email go? Oh yeah, USB dongles. This fellow bought a dongle from us. It's on the road for them, and they were just curious about how exactly they're going to transfer that stuff from their computer to the HomePod, and it is surprisingly easy. I'll be making a video guide very soon. I would really like to do it tonight or tomorrow, since we've got a few adapters on the road and people should be getting them very soon. Let's see. It's still doing it. I'm gonna hang on to it. I'm hanging on to it. It could take up to, I think, like 60 seconds for it to do something different. It's still hanging out at the red. This will be interesting. If we can restore this just with USB, I'll be, again, like, this will be another example of, like, what the heck, Apple. So it's still sitting there. It's basically an infinite boot cycle here. We call this eternal boot. It's not like a boot loop where it stops and then restarts again over and over. It's an eternal boot where it boots and then it doesn't stop. It just kind of sits there in that state forever. So here's what we're gonna do. And you guys can take this as some sort of guide as to how to do this yourself. I'm not gonna show you how to install the prerequisite software, but I will show you guys really quick, the 3 commands that we run in order to restore the software on these. So let's see. We're gonna grab ourselves a fresh dongle. And we will screw that into place with a couple of our HomePod screws. Thank you, Apple, for making this rather easy for us. This will, of course, be one of the adapters that'll get shipped out to somebody. I just haven't tested it yet, so this will be a good opportunity. Oh, the other live stream where I was making a few dongles with you guys, and I totally messed up one of them. I was able to reuse that. What I ended up doing was just resoldering a standard USB cable and onto the pins, and effectively it is a perfectly fine standard USB connection now. And this is how we're going to be handling USB-C. So you're going to have 2 options when you're buying the dongle. You'll have USB-A, which is easy peasy. If you've got a USB-C to USB-A dock or adapter, that'll work just fine. Because if you want USB-C, this is how we're going to do it. I'll charge you a couple extra bucks. I'll throw the adapter in for you if you don't have one, and you can just plug that in, and you've got USB-C now. I bought straight up USB-C cable pigtails that we were supposed to be able to solder into these adapters, and you wouldn't need an adapter like this, but they were supposed to be OTG, essentially showing the device you solder it to as a device, and that did not work. So that kind of stung, spending all that time on making those dongles with the USB-C cables just for none of them to work. But that was kind of on us for not trying and checking the first or second one after making it and just assuming that it was going to work. So let's see what this HomePod does. Hopefully it shows up in recovery mode. Actually, we've got it upside down, so it's not going to. Alright, so we've got it connected. We've got a device connected in Apple Configurator. It's showing in DFU mode. So we're going to run gaster pwn. And don't worry if you can't see my screen, the commands are on the GitHub guide. We're going to allow any of those accessory connect prompts that appear as well. And then we're going to run gaster reset. And then we're going to run our iDevice restore 17.6.ipsw. I add extra flags -D for the debug logging and -E for the option to erase on restore. They're not necessary, but that's what's worked for me consistently, so that's what I'm going to put in the guide, and the extra debug info can be helpful if people run into issues. So hopefully it enters restore mode. Fingers crossed. That's good. If this really just takes a software restore and it works just fine, that basically means these things brick themselves, not even during updates. This guy was just playing music when his kid unplugged it from power. It wasn't even updating. But hopefully I don't jinx ourselves by saying that. fingers crossed here. I would really like to get more of these in that can be just software restores than ones that end up needing to be hardware restored. I would, in a perfect world, every single one of them could be software restored. None of them would be hardware issues. Well, in a perfect world for us. That would suck for Apple. If it's blinking SOS, then that's bad too. No, it's still going. I'll be right back. It looks like we've got a package. That is not looking good. That is looking like a hardware issue for sure. We'd have to hook our UART up to it to see and know for sure. It's also possible that there is a bug in the restore script, but more likely than not, there is a hardware issue. We'll give this another second, and then we're going to try one more time, and if it still doesn't work, then we are going to set it aside so that we can dig a little deeper with our UART dongle and see exactly what the heck this thing is doing. What is the difference in terms of the USB-C one? Shouldn't it work with just the same as USB-A? If you're talking about the... Let's see, where do I have one? I don't think I have one because I fixed them all. If you're talking about the one that has the USB-C cable directly, that didn't work because it wasn't configured as a device. It was basically missing some resistors that bridge the control pins and identify this as a device. So let's try this one more time. We're going to plug it into USB. We're going to plug this into power. As soon as that shows up in DFU mode, we will Gaster pwn it. Gaster reset it. I'm going to wiggle this too just to see if the DFU drops in and out. If it does, then that means we don't have a good connection and I need to remake this. And sure enough, I think that might be it here. So let's go ahead and unplug that from power before we mess with this. Let's get it off. And I'm gonna go grab another one. Alright, well I don't have another one. I shipped them all. So I guess I'm going to show you guys how we look at the UART logs on here. Oh, I think I understand what you're saying now, Michael. Yes, the USB-C one, the USB-C adapter that people will be getting is literally going to be the USB-A adapter with a USB-C dongle. This is just for convenience. A lot of people don't have a USB-A to USB-C, and a lot of people don't have USB-A ports on their computer. So this is more just for convenience than it's not necessary whatsoever. You can absolutely plug this same one in straight into your computer if it's got the port for it. Where is my special dongle? Oh boy, this is the very first one that I made. It is not pretty, let me tell you. Don't look too closely. But it is functional. So we're gonna, well, let's be frank, none of these adapters are pretty, but for the price, I don't think people can really complain. I will eventually come out with a V2 that's a really nice, refined, professional design that looks because it'll probably more likely than not be manufactured. And it'll be something that is perfectly functional. That's what it'll be for, but also kind of like a Nix Fix merch. Like, you know how people like have like t-shirts and other garbage that they sell. Well, I want to sell like slightly more functional garbage than that. I don't know. So they'll look really cool. Where is my UART adapter? Please. Oh, I can't have lost this. I don't want to buy another one. Where did that go? Whoa! Bubble wrap! The floor is bubble wrap. Found it! Alright. I got my USB-C to USB-A dock here so I can plug everything in right next to each other. Here is our USB to UART adapter. These do not come with the USB plus UART dongle. You gotta get one of these yourself. I mean, if people want me to buy these and resell them, I'll be more than happy to. It's a weird world we live in, but people are inevitably going to ask me to sell these to them. So there we are. This is the SH-U09C5. This is USB to UART, and it uses a genuine FTDI chip. You don't want to buy the cheap knockoffs on Amazon. Get this one in particular and spend the extra buck or two and wait an extra day or so in shipping for this one, because it does come with some extra features that you might find handy if UART is in your general area of interest in the first place. So what we're going to do is, let's see, I need my extra pigtail here. What we are going to do is connect our ground to the ground, and don't worry, your UART is going to look a lot nicer than this one. And then we are going to give ourselves our TX and RX lines. Oh, and one other thing that's crucially important, set your UART adapter to 1.8 volt mode. You will more than likely fry your HomePod if you have it any higher than that, especially 5 volt. It is not 5 volt compatible, do not try. Lord help you if you do. Alright, so we got red and orange. There we go. And then I'm going to open up another terminal window here, go through my bash history and see if I can find the command that we use to watch the serial logs on this UART adapter. Oh yeah, let's plug it in too. There we go. Oh man, I'm not gonna have it in my... I'm gonna have to look it up. Oh! No, that wasn't it. This is it. Nope. Alright, let me look up the command really quick. Let's see, I need it's the screen command. I'm just trying to remember the address of the freaking adapter. Oh, what if I search? Can I search? I can. Screen. Okay, so it's screen dev tty.usb serial dash v002g0ou and the baud rate is 115200. There we go. Okay. So we have got a mirror of our UART serial output. Let's plug this thing into power and see what it do. I'll also make sure this thing, yep, okay, so we've got DFU mode, so our USB is working. Let's see, still nothing on our serial, so we'll probably need to swap our TX and RX lines around. There we go. Let's see what it gives us now. This is absolutely ugly. But there we go. We've got UART output. We've got iBoot 10151.103.1. That is our UART. I know pointing the camera at the screen is not ideal, but... So now that we've got our UART console up, we've gassed or pwned and gassed or reset this. Let's run our restore command again and see what the hardware logs say while we're restoring this. Unable to send IBAC. Okay, so we're going to try this again. Got our UART, Gaster Pwn, Gaster reset. iDevice restore. Give me the good stuff, buddy. What are you gonna say? There we go. That is a lot of stuff. Receive. Hardware overrun. External amp controller. Yeah, this might be. I'm going to try to copy some of this. What do we got here? Apple external amp controller receive error. Okay, so it looks like either the amp chip or the controller chip on the amplifier, not likely. More likely, probably the amp controller on the logic board itself. We need to figure out where that is. Alright, well, it looks like in any case this one is a software issue, or sorry, hardware issue. Because it's getting errors from that amp controller. Okay. Hey, oh, another few fellows in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Alex. Welcome back, I should say. Welcome back to both of you. All right. Wow. That is not what we like to see. But something that we can still fix at the end of the day. Alright. So it looks like this one will need most likely a new logic board. We will let our fellow Mike know. Ash's HomePod is still playing just fine. At least the one that was turning on for us and staying on. It's pretty interesting. I'll have to shake it and maybe gently drop it a few times to see if there's something physically not working right, not all the way connected. Okay. Well, we're about out of time. That took a little longer than I wanted, but I'll go ahead and give you guys one more thing here. And that is a Sing Cell Alpha. Alright, we've got until my wife pretty much pulls into the driveway there to continue taking this guy apart. And I have been eager to dig deeper to this thing ever since we got this far. So we got that other subwoofer disconnected. What is next? It looks like some T8s down there, maybe T9s. And then a couple up here too. So let's get that. That's gonna be too big. That's too big. That T15, yeah, no shit. Here's your T9. Yeah, the T9 fits really well. Maybe a T10 would be better, but I don't see my T10 anywhere. I probably lost it like the fool I am. Yeah, well, the T9 should work. Alright, that doesn't seem to come off yet. Looks like you go in there. Oh man, they do not want you taking this thing apart. Understandably so. But I wonder if as soon as we get this bit here, the top subwoofer comes right out. And then you've got access from both sides. That would make a lot of sense. Hey Siri. What time is 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Singapore time to Pacific time?
Sorry, I can't help that, but you can ask me the time for a specific city.
Okay. Hey Siri, what time is it in Singapore?
In Singapore, it's 6:49 a.m.
It's 6:49, so 5 o'clock would be 8. Oh, I see that bottom subwoofer wiggling now. I think that's it. That's it. All right. Unfortunately, the seller that I got this speaker from packed it like an absolute dingus, and the poles for the floor stand were just bouncing all around the box, and it poked a nice fat hole in the subwoofer dust shield right here. So they weren't willing to offer me any kind of partial refund. They were only willing to take it back for a full refund, presumably to relist it for the same price that I bought it from, despite the additional damage incurred during shipping, which is kind of disappointing to see from eBay sellers, but not really too surprising, I guess. Alright, so we got both subwoofers out. That is quite exciting. I'm trying to get this last screw out. Oh, there we go. We do not want to lose any of this stuff. I do not think we will be able to find replacements. Interesting. This is so cool. It's so cool to finally see inside of these things after them refusing to let us get in for so long. And we just figured it out all by ourselves. I'm just taking screws apart. And thankfully, since we're doing all this on a live stream, we've got pretty easy reference to how to take this thing apart and, of course, put it back together again. Yeah, this is definitely not a T9, probably a T10 or whatever the equivalent hex bit is. Actually, that's a good point. I need to try my hex bits. Yeah, there we go. So this is these screws are a hex 2.5. Alright, what's that doing? Nothing yet. We'll flip this back around and get, I guess, these ones. Nope, not yet. Man, you guys got this really locked down, don't you see? And I know you're almost certainly watching me and snickering and laughing and going, yeah, we know how to take it apart, but we're not going to tell you. You're not going to stop me. Well, okay. That might stop us for now. Well, that looks like it's pretty well. Oh, it's close. What screw is that? Oh, there is no screw on that side. They're going in from the top. Okay. So then what's next? Do we need to take these guys out? No, that you can't get to them. There's nothing under that. Let's see, this screw, for example, goes through this side, through that, up to there. I wonder if this is. Oh no, it's not. Look at that. It's starting to come apart. It's definitely coming apart easier now. I think at this point, these two clear plexiglass pieces are glued on there. So this might need to. Oh man. And the thing is like even once we get this apart, we're probably not going to be able to actually fix it because we don't know what's actually failed. And it seems like its hardware is just fine. It might just be a software issue. But we had nothing to lose with this guy. Well, let's see. That side's coming up. I really don't want to crack this plexiglass. I don't care if I leave marks on it. It's already pretty beat up as it is. This is pretty much what I was doing for like an hour or so when I got stuck last time. Just looking around at seeing if I missed anything. Seeing if there's any screws I can take out. But it looks like it's just glued on there now. We just really gotta really pry this sucker apart. But I do not want to break it. I'm gonna put some rubbing alcohol in there, see if that loosens anything up. I'm gonna do it the same on the other side. Sing, if you guys want to hire me, I'll be more than happy. Yeah, I think that's it. Now I don't know, and I don't think it's gonna want to come apart much more without oh. Nah, that's opening up. Ah, it's so close. But I feel like there's still something that we're missing here. There's no way this plexiglass is screwed on in any way from the looks of it. Wow, we're gonna need to replace that. Open, you bastard. What is your next major secret? I bet you we're on the right path here and we're just not trying hard enough. Yeah, like this comes right up from it. Ah, the wife is home. That means we're... Oh, out of time, and look at that. Out of time, and... Oh, man. The timing of that. I just got in. We are in, like legit in. Nobody's ever seen the insides of it like this outside of Sing. What a momentous moment. Oh, you guys don't understand. You might, but oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. This is so easy to work on. Oh my god, why do they keep us out of it? Alright, folks. Hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair and the extra little bonus. I'll catch you in the next one.